The Colosseum in Rome. It's one of the greatest architectural achievements of the ancient world. Built almost 1,000 years ago, it could hold over 50,000 spectators, hosting everything from epic gladiatorial games and mock sea battles to grand public spectacles. But have you ever stopped to wonder how the ancient Romans built such a colossal structure without any modern machinery? How did they quarry, transport, and lift massive stones into place? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of history and explore the incredible engineering, revolutionary materials, and ingenious techniques that brought the Colosseum to life. So, why was the Colosseum even built? The story begins in 72 AD with Emperor Vespasian. He commissioned this massive amphitheatre as a grand gift to the Roman people. But it wasn't just about entertainment. The Colosseum was a brilliant political tool. By providing spectacular, free entertainment, Vespasian could win the favor of the public, keep the citizens occupied, and showcase the immense power and wealth of the Roman Empire. It was a way to say, look at what Rome can achieve. Its official name, by the way, wasn't the Colosseum. It was the Amphitheatrum Flavium, the Flavian Amphitheatre, named after Vespasian's own family dynasty, the Flavians. It was built on the site of a former private lake belonging to the infamous Emperor Nero, symbolically returning the land to the public. The construction of the Colosseum was a masterclass in using the right materials for the right job. For the magnificent outer walls and main pillars, the Romans used travertine limestone, a strong and durable stone quarried about 20 miles from Rome. For the inner walls and less visible parts, they used tuff, a lighter and softer volcanic rock that was easier to carve. But the real game changer was Roman concrete. This wasn't the concrete we know today. Their unique recipe, often using volcanic ash, was incredibly strong and durable, so durable that much of it has survived for 2 millennia. This concrete was perfect for creating the massive vaults and foundations that supported the entire structure. To hold the huge travertine blocks together, they didn't use mortar. Instead, they used iron clamps, weighing over 600 pounds each, to lock the stones firmly in place. The Romans were also pioneers of recycling. Rubble and stones from buildings destroyed in the Great Fire of Rome were reused in the Colosseum as foundations, saving resources and time. Now, let's talk about the genius of its design. The Colosseum is a perfect harmony of arches, vaults, and columns. Its iconic oval shape is supported by a brilliant system of arches, 80 of them on the ground floor alone, serving as entrances. These arches weren't just for looks, they were the key to the building's stability. They distributed the immense weight of the structure evenly, allowing the Romans to build it higher and higher, tier upon tier, without it collapsing. The seating areas, known as the cavea, rested on a complex network of barrel vaults and groin vaults made from that revolutionary Roman concrete. These vaults created sloping surfaces for the seats and also formed corridors and stairways underneath, allowing tens of thousands of people to find their seats quickly and exit in just a few minutes, a concept modern stadiums still use. The exterior was a lesson in classical architecture. It featured 3 stories of arches, each level adorned with a different style of column. The sturdy Doric on the bottom, the elegant Ionic in the middle, and the ornate Corinthian on top. This progression gave the building a sense of lightness and sophistication despite its massive scale. One of the biggest questions is, how did they move all those massive stones? Some of the travertine blocks weighed up to 6 tons. Without modern cranes or trucks, the Romans relied on sheer manpower and simple, yet effective, machines. Huge stones were transported from the quarry on wooden sledges and rollers, pulled by teams of oxen and men along specially built roads. To lift them into place, they used a combination of ramps, pulleys, and wooden cranes. Imagine massive earthen or wooden ramps being built up against the structure as it grew taller. Armies of workers, including slaves, soldiers, and skilled engineers, would have worked in perfect coordination to haul the stones up these ramps. For the heaviest blocks, historians believe they used large, treadmill-like cranes powered by men or animals walking inside a giant wheel. This would generate the torque needed to hoist stones several stories high. It was a slow, dangerous, and incredibly laborious process that required immense organization and skill. The Colosseum was far more than just a stone bowl for seating. It was packed with innovative features that made it a true technical masterpiece. Beneath the arena floor was the hypogeum, a complex, 2-level underground network of tunnels, passages, and holding pens. This was the backstage of the ancient world. Here, gladiators prepared for combat, and wild animals like lions, tigers, and elephants were kept in cages. The Romans even developed a system of elevators and trapdoors. These were simple lifts, powered by ropes and pulleys, that could suddenly raise animals, scenery, or gladiators onto the arena floor, creating shocking and dramatic entrances during the shows. And what about the hot Roman sun? The Colosseum had a solution for that too, the velarium. This was an enormous retractable awning, a massive canvas canopy that could be unfurled over the top of the seating area to provide shade for the spectators. It took a team of hundreds of skilled sailors to operate the complex system of ropes and masts that controlled it. All of this, the underground tunnels, the elevators, the retractable roof, was achieved without electricity or motors. It was pure mechanical ingenuity. So, how long did it take to build this marvel? Construction began in 70 to 80 under Emperor Vespasian and was officially completed and inaugurated in 80 AD under his son and successor, Emperor Titus. That's just about 8 years. 8 years to build a structure of this magnitude is staggering, even by today's standards. Let's put its size into perspective. The Colosseum stands about 48 meters tall, which is roughly the height of a 15-story building. Its elliptical base measures 189 meters by 156 meters, covering about 6 acres of land. Its capacity is estimated to be between 50,000 and 80,000 spectators, all organized by a numbered seating system. For centuries after its completion, it remained the heart of Roman public life, a stage for both magnificent celebrations and brutal blood sports, shaping the culture of the world's most powerful empire. Today, the Colosseum is more than just a magnificent ruin. It stands as an enduring testament to the genius of Roman engineering and the ambition of the Roman Empire. Its design principles have inspired countless modern structures, especially sports stadiums. From the tiered seating that ensures good sightlines to the efficient crowd management systems, the echoes of the Colosseum's design can be seen all over the world. It is a symbol of Rome itself, attracting millions of visitors every year who come to marvel at its scale and walk in the footsteps of emperors, gladiators, and ancient Roman citizens. It serves as a powerful reminder of the incredible ingenuity, vision, and, at times, the brutality of the ancient world. From the massive limestone blocks held by iron clamps to the complex underground network of tunnels and elevators, the Colosseum proves what humanity is capable of achieving, even without the technology we rely on today. It is a marvel of design, engineering, and sheer willpower that continues to captivate and inspire architects, historians, and travelers alike. It's a story written in stone, a story of power, innovation, and the enduring legacy of ancient Rome. If you love this journey back in time to explore the building of the Colosseum, please hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing deep dives into history. Thanks for watching.